What is up guys, Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny. We are back with another This Week in Destiny, giving you the full breakdown for the up and coming week. This week marks week 13 of Season of the Witch. We have a new featured raid challenge, an overview of the featured raid and dungeon content, the exotic mission, all the dares loot, a breakdown of the weekly rituals and so much more, so be sure to stick around and enjoy the video. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a comment and rating down below, and remember to subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. We're also kicking up streams over on Twitch, Kick and Livespace, so if you haven't checked them out, be sure to swing by and I'll leave the links to those down in the video description below. Now another week and another This Week in Destiny. As we said in the intro, this week marks week 13 of Season of the Witch, and is in fact the penultimate week for the entire season. Season of the Witch kicks off on the 28th of November, so we are approaching the final few weeks to get some prep done before the new season kicks off. In fact, this week we see the return of Iron Banner to Destiny 2 for the final time in Season 22. Now, as Bungie mentioned in their most recent This Week in Destiny, the Dark Decider Auto Rifle and the Gonora's Axe Slug Shotgun will be leaving at the end of the season. These will be replaced with the Lethal Abundance Strand High Impact Auto Rifle and also the returning Reese Walker Kinetic Lightweight Shotgun. So if you haven't picked up the shader or you still haven't got good rolls on those weapons that are leaving the loot pool, then this is your final opportunity to get them throughout Iron Banner upon this week's weekly reset. Now next up, we're going to move on to the featured raid challenge for the Crota's End raid. Now this week's challenge can be found over in the Abyss, and it's called Conservation of Energy. This is probably the trickiest challenge in the entire raid, and to complete this, your fire team can only enlighten one lamp per podium of light in which you use. Now this challenge requires you to stay close together with your entire team, as by skipping just one lamp will be more than enough to wipe the entire team. And if any members of the fire team get stuck behind, there's pretty much no opportunity to cleanse them as they become engulfed with the weight of darkness. Now most teams do decide to both deposit and enlighten themselves at the same lamp to simplify the encounter and its challenge. But if you and your fire team are confident of pulling it off, then things like tractor cannon or eager edge swords are viable for those well coordinated teams. Either way, if you and your team can pull it off, then there's an extra raid chest waiting for you at the end, granting you access to some sweet adept raid loot. Now next up, we're going to move on to the featured raid and dungeon content for the week. Now the up and coming featured raid is the King's Fall. This is the second reprised raid in Destiny 2. Now as the featured raid though, all the challenges are available too, which is ideal if you're still looking to complete some of the challenges to earn your Kingslayer seal. And on top of that, because it is featured, you can actually repeat these challenges and encounters on multiple occasions. It is your final chance this season to get your hands on some of the best craftable weapons in the game. And if you have all the weapon patterns already, you can even farm Oryx, the final boss, to get your hands on the Touch of Malice exotic scout rifle. This is a weapon of sorrow. It actually synergizes with many other weapons of sorrow in the game and could be a weapon well worth picking up ahead of Season of the Wish. Now as for the featured dungeon, this can be found over in Duality. Now Duality launched back in Season of the Haunted, and is in fact one of the best places to farm Artifice Armor. Artifice Armor is a free stat boost, so if you fancy farming Keitel this week, which is arguably the easiest encounter to do it, then it's a great opportunity to pick up that armor and also the Heart Shadow exotic sword. It is certainly a great week to get some final prep done ahead of Season of the Wish, so be sure to jump into the featured raid and dungeon upon this week's weekly reset. Now next up, we're going to move on to the exotic mission Rotator. Now this week's exotic mission is the Presage. Now the Presage is the home to the Dead Man's Tale exotic scout rifle. And to tickle those taste buds, Bungie did add a new perk to the trait pool, and it's a weapon well worth crafting. If you already have a god roll on it though, then you can pick up weapons from Season of the Haunted. This includes the Nazarek's Whisper, Bump in the Night, Tears of Contrition, Hollow Denial, Firefright, and Without Remorse. You can also pick up the opulent weapons such as the Ostringer, the Drang, Beloved, the Callous Mini Tool, and even the Eidolon Pursuant armor set. Now to access this though, you will need to either own Beyond Light or Season of the Chosen, but it's a great opportunity to pick up one of the best exotic scout rifles in the game, or even earn some weapon patterns for weapons from Season of the Haunted. Now from here, we're going to move on to Dares of Eternity and the 30th Anniversary Pack activity. Now for the up and coming week, you can find the Scatterhorn armor set alongside the Prefector armor set from Season of the Chosen. Now armor pieces can drop during the course of the activity when you complete it, or by even handing in strange coins over at the Star Horse over in the Treasure Hoard. But if it's weapons that you're after, you'll also find weapons from Season of the Chosen as well. including the Scathelocke, the Extraordinary Rendition, Brass Attacks, Threaded Needle, Coduello, Imperial Needle, Far Future, Honor's Edge, the Distant Tumulus, Interference, Shepherd's Watch, and the Annual Skate. Now, none of these weapons are currently craftable, so if you don't have god rolls on them, then this week is another opportunity to go pick them up. Now, next up, we're going to move on to the weekly rituals, and we have a returning Nightfall and Grandmaster Nightfall for week 13. This comes in the form of the Lightblade, which is notoriously one of the most difficult Nightfalls in the rotation. This launched all the way back in Witch Queen, but if you and your fire team can knock out the Nightfall this week, then the loaded question will be available as a Nightfall exclusive reward. If you're chasing Adept loot though, this will be a guaranteed drop on the Grandmaster difficulty if you and your team can get a Platinum medal. To do that though, you'll need to take out all the champions on your path to victory. Once again, if you and your team can nail it, then the loaded question Adept is up for grabs. Now, moving over to the Crucible, this week sees the return of Rift alongside Momentum Control, as well as Iron Banner being in rotation. So with Iron Banner being back, there will be no Trials of Osiris on the penultimate weekend, but to support the massive variety of Crucible modes on offer, we do at least have bonus Crucible ranks all week long. It's a perfect chance to get the final pieces of Iron Banner loot, as well as earning some quick rank ups for Lord Shaxx over in the tower. Now, this is great if you don't have the ritual weapon for season 22, the Malediction, and if you have that already, it's the best chance you'll get before the end of the season to pick up its Crucible exclusive ornament. The thing to bear in mind though is Iron Banner will be getting a new mode in Season of the Wish in the form of Tribute. We actually covered that in a preview for season 23, so if you haven't checked out that video already, make sure to do so, and I will leave the link to that down in the video description below. Now, to round us out for the week, we're going to take a look at the Lost Sector calendar. Now, this week kicks off in the Bunker E15 and will be offering exotic chest pieces. On Wednesday, you can head over to the Bay of Drowned Wishes for a chance at exotic helmets. As for Thursday, Velis Labyrinth is back, offering those exotic boots. On Friday, with the return of Zur, Exodus Garden 2A is back as well, offering another chance for those exotic gauntlets. And over the weekend on Saturday, you can head over to Sepultura for even more chest pieces, with Extraction being available on Sunday, offering those exotic helmets. And to round out week 13, you can head over to the Metamorphosis, and this once again will be offering exotic boots. Now, it's important to note if you are missing any of the exotics from previous seasons, they're exclusive to Lost Sectors, then be sure to plan your week accordingly and get those collections completed before the end of the season. So if there's a particular slot that you're missing, or you want to check out this calendar in full for yourself, then make sure to do so over in Today in Destiny, and I will leave the link to that down in the video description below. So there we have it guys, a good look on everything that you can expect for week 13 of Season of the Witch. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to check out one of the 2 videos you see here in these cards for more Destiny 2 content. And if you want to keep up to date with everything to do with Destiny 2, then be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to jump into the game as always guys, and I will catch you all again very soon.